This is another pretty straightforward block. Challenges here are the fact that we've got all these narrow strips for the chairs, and then the only tiny pieces are these little tulips. Otherwise pretty straightforward. Now, in the pattern file, I am including a paper pieced section in case you want to, instead of appliquing this picture, you could paper piece it. And so it would appear like that. So I've printed that on really fine paper so that I can paper piece this part. And then as I've done with the other blocks where there are pictures, the frames once again are the inside part of the fusible is cut out so that it doesn't make it too stiff. So both of these have been cut out. That will look like that. And then once I paper piece this, and I will also apply the fusible web to the back of the paper pieced strip and then cut it to size, and that will go on top of the other two frames. Okay. For these, I measured, and most of them they're just about 1/4 of an inch. These are a little bit narrower. So what I did was cut 3.5 by 6.5 piece of fabric and put a piece of fusible web on the back of that. And so in this, I'm just going to cut 1/4 inch strips. And there's these 4 that are a little bit narrow. I'll cut those also a little bit narrow, but then everything else I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch, and then this one is a little bit wider too. Okay. Other than that, just follow the numbering, and it shouldn't be a difficult block to work with. So let's get started. Here's our finished block. Just to recap, pretty straightforward. I did use invisible thread on this block, and for these narrow strips I just used a narrow zigzag too. I used a zigzag stitch on everything except for the paper piece strip, and there I did use a blanket stitch just to make sure to hold all the folds in. And then the only really challenging part, if you wish, is these little flowers. I did use a zigzag stitch for these and just a really tiny one, and that was about it. So I think that altogether a really easy block to do. I hope that this has been helpful to you, and thank you for watching.